In this video we are going to study a program called Calculate.java. So this program is an example where we are using command line parameters, and we are also going to use a separate method called print calculations, and this method then uses method parameters. So we are using both command line parameters and method parameters in this program. And these parameters, they are also called arguments. So my name is Kari Laitinen, and let's go to see the program then. So you can find the program if you first go to naturalprogramming.com and then select this Java icon and enter this page, and there you will find the program. There is the Calculate.java. So you can download it for yourself if you like. So I have already downloaded it, and let's run it. So I can compile it and then I run it, and it says this program calculates with integers, give two integers separated by a space. So I will give it something like 99 and 44. And it says that 99 plus 44 is 143, and 99 minus 44 is 55, and so on. At the end it says that 99 divided by 44 is 2, and the remainder when 99 is divided by 44 is 11. So this remainder, this last calculation, it means that what is the result if we would divide the first operand with the second operand, and as computers they also always round downwards, the remainder can be quite large sometimes. So this is the basic operation of the program. Let's see now the source code. So I have it already open here. So it has some comments at the beginning there, and then there is the actual program. So inside class calculate we have now two methods. There is first this method print calculations, and then there is the normal usual main method. And so let's see this main method first. So that when I just executed this program like you saw it, what happened there is that this condition wasn't true when I executed it. So it then executed these statements here. And what the program did, it did output two integers from the keyboard into these variables, first operand and second operand, and then it called this print calculations method, so that it gave these first operand and second operand as parameters for the method. And when this method was executed, it means that the statements inside this method were executed so that the given values, or the values from the main program, they were given to these variables. And then it just printed these things. So it prints some strings there, and it prints the values of the variables. So this is normal printing operation, And here we also call a method system.out.print. And then it tests that if the second integer is not equal to 0, then it can also do the division and remainder operations, and then it prints them as well. So what happens in a method call is that the values of these variables, they are now parameters for the, or arguments for the print calculations method. So the values of these variables are copied to these variables. And you can see that the names of the variables, they are independent, so they don't have to have the same names. So these are called also the formal parameters. Oh, it's like it. So it means that they are formal, and these parameters, they won't get values until, or they only get values when this method is called. So, but let's see the other part of the main program, because now in this main method we have now this name here, command line parameters, because normally in my examples this name is not in use, which means that these command line parameters are not in use. So in this case they are in use, and it means that they are received as an array of strings. So this means a string type, and this means that we receive an array of strings here. And so we can, here we test that if the length of this array is 2, then it means that the user gave the command line parameters. So it means that if I can execute this program also like this, that I write Java calculate, and on the command line I give values which to use. So I will give it values like 1, 2, 3, 4. So now it didn't ask anything more from the user, and it just calculated or it did the calculations with these integers 12 and 34. And for instance, if I would use it like I would put one more value there, 5, 6, then it would again start asking me something, because the number of command line parameters wasn't correct. So it tests here that the number of command line parameters is 2. And if it finds out that this is true, then it converts, because they are now strings. The command line parameters are strings. So there is a separate method of class integer to convert these strings to integer values. So it is using this parseInt method of class integer this way, and it gives a command line the first command line parameter and the second command line parameter to this method, and they are then converted to integer values, and then again this print calculations method is called with these values. So this is just an array, and with index 0 you can refer to the first element of the array, and with index 1 you can refer to the second element of the array. And also, well, if I run this like I would give it values like 12.34 or and 77, then the program crashes because it can't convert this 12.33 to an integer value. Yes, and it is also possible. Well, if we like, we can also print these command line parameters like this. Or let's print the first of them. I'll print the first parameter. Let's put some new lines there. Just for testing that they are actually strings. And well, if I save it and if I recompile it, and if I then run the program, well, I can say here that I give it only one parameter, so it should be able to print it. And so it prints the text hello, but then it notices that there is only one parameter was given, so it will not execute these statements, but it will execute these statements. Well, I will give it some values. Oh, like this. So this is basically the program. And one thing you should notice also, that when you do printings like these, that you want to print, for instance, here the sum of the two integers. So it's very important that you use parentheses here, like this, because if you don't use them, then it will happen so that the compiler thinks that also this plus operator here is a string concatenation operator, and this program won't work. So we could actually test it so that we will remove these lines here, or these parentheses here, and I will also remove this extra statement from here, and let's save it, and I will compile it. And if I execute it, well, I will give it numbers 1, 1 and 2, 2. So now it says that the sum of 1, 1 and 2, 2 is 1, 1, 2, 2. So now it thought here that it just joined with this operator. It joined again the value of this variable to the string that was constructed here, and then it joined also the value of this variable to this string. So it didn't work, so therefore we must have these parentheses here. And if I remove the parentheses here, I think that will result in a compilation error. Or we can try it. Yes. It says bad operand types for binary operator -1. So now when I removed the parentheses there, it thinks first this is now the operator to join the value of this as a string to the existing string, and then it considered this as a minus this value, and it just didn't work. So we must have parentheses here. But we don't need parentheses around this expression because the multiplication operand takes effect before the plus operator. So that is some basics about how operators are used in Java. So we studied here command line parameters. So this is how we receive command line parameters from the command line, or you can think here that when the program starts executing, it's the execution system calls method main so that it gives this array as a parameter for the main method. And what is important to note here as well is that it will be very difficult perhaps to give these command line parameters when you are executing this program with NetBeans, for instance. Or actually, I don't know how to give those parameters in NetBeans. So the best way to give the command line parameters is to use the terminal window or the command prompt window in Windows. So these are the command line parameters or command line arguments, and then these are method parameters, and always these parameters, they must correspond to these types. So here we have specified that the parameters for this method must be of type int. So it's very important that we give here parameters that are of type int, and they are of that type as they are declared as int variables. Okay, I think this is enough about this program. So I thank you for your interest in, and goodbye.